Hi everybody, my name is Sarah, Pearls of Wisdom in Food, and today I'm going to talk about being wrong. And, a couple of my favorite scientists, researchers are Stephen Phinney and Jeff Volek. And Stephen Phinney, no, it was, I guess when a doctor, Tim Noakes, I think that's how you pronounce it, he's from South Africa. And I have to admit that when a researcher or a scientist or a doctor admits that all that they've been doing up until now is adding to the problem, exacerbating the problem, and they admit it, and then they start treating their patients, their clients, different. I love that. I so respect that. And Tim went through quite the ordeal. He wrote a book on carb loading, in essence, for runners. And he was a big runner. Either he's a coach or he's a doctor or he's both. And he did this great big book on how to carb up before a marathon and things like that, and endurance-wise. And then he realized that after all this time, it was just the opposite. And it doesn't necessarily have to do with, something like that. But in his case, it was that. And then Stephen Phinney, another respected doctor, he was working on the low carb, high fat, no grains. And he had all of his research and all of his data, and he was just totally sure and convinced that what he was saying was true, but nobody wanted to hear it. And so he just quietly went in the background, and then this young doctor, scientist, researcher, Jeff Volek, found him, and as he would say, pulled him out of the mothballs and blew off all the dust and put him back out there, because his research, too, was pointing all to the same findings. And I love that. And of course, I've been wrong many, many times in my life as well. Not to that degree with books and charts and graphs and things like that, but just wrong in a way of thinking and believing. And, I was a big proponent of grains in moderation in my Weight Watchers program. And I lost the first 15 of my 20-ish of my 35-ish loss total. And it all worked, I guess after what I was eating, it was still less of an insult to my body. And so I lost that weight. But then it stopped working, and I felt a little restless with the results, and wasn't satisfied. Grains and sugars stopped doing it for me. Actually, it was wheat first, and it stopped doing it for me. And then last August, a year ago, when I gave it up, it was, I guess, not even much of a poof by then, and I don't know why. I guess in my giving up journey of alcohol and cigarettes and other things, perhaps I can't think of them now, by the time I got to giving it up, I was okay with it. I guess it's kind of the process for me. And so giving it up really was the final act, but it really was just anticlimactic almost, because the work had been done inside of me as I slowly found myself not that enamored with the wheat products that I was having and wanting more. And now, having been on, so no grains from September on, so that's 11 months, and then the sugar, except for the white chocolate morsels in my fat bomb. And so, every now and then I sit there and I think at lunch, what am I going to have? Dinner's pretty much standard. It's either a salad with 3 to 4 ounces of a protein, or all those steamed, roasted, organic vegetables with 3 to 4 ounces of animal protein. unless it's something really good like the spaghetti squash with the Alfredo sauce or regular sauce, something like that, something a tad bit different. But, you know, and so it's like, oh, is it just going to be the yogurt or the eggs again? But, you know, I find like right now I've got some tomatoes that taste like they were grown in a garden, even though they weren't, and those are satisfying, and then a fresh peach instead of organic berries, and that was satisfying. So I find that I'm okay with that. I'm not going to change with my way of eating lifestyle now. But I guess I was ready back then, and it wasn't that it was wrong. It was not good for me, not healthy for me. But changing something that is going wrong within you takes a little bit of work and takes a little bit of a slowdown, as I'm learning now. You know, having the 3 days off in a row, what a gift it's been to me all summer. And it's made me realize that I need it. This old gal needs the 3 days to regroup before going back to work. And I honor that, and I find that I'm just really aiming for a lot of solitude with these 3 days off, of just pulling my house together and seeing things as if for the first time. You know, I have little pockets of messes everywhere, and the food, you know, once the food is in and tracked and in the fridge to, you know, match up what I've tracked, then I've got this time to really go through things, you know, and I've got 2 great big library cases behind me, one here and one here, and I need to thin it because I've got my couch over there with, it's a love seat, and the second cushion is totally covered with probably 20 publications, magazines, and books that I'm going to get to. Well, guess what? I'm not getting to them. So, you know, in my 3-day off spates, I have little projects, a shelf in the pantry, clothes that haven't fit me for over a year, that it's safe to think that I could give up now, things like that. And so that correlates with me for being wrong. Because when I busy myself with cleaning up my nest, the being wrong in my head finds a right place to be, a right place to find some peace with being wrong. And, you know, my intentions are never, ever to push what I do on anybody or hurt anybody or insult anybody's way of doing it. And I'm sure that I've done that. I know that I've done that. And so I am sorry if anything that I've said to you has come across as you feeling it's pointed right to you, and it doesn't feel encouraging. It feels punishing, and I'm sorry. And so I work on those things. So that's my little deal with being wrong, feeling wrong, and a lot of emotions surrounding that right now. The food is good. Bulletproof coffee's good. I'm good. The projects await me, and yeah. So being wrong is something that in adult life, I guess having a little time for reflection is what I'm working on today. And it is an interesting feeling. Hard, yes, but interesting nevertheless. Have a wonderful day, my pickles. This has been Sarah. Kind of a serious subject. See you the next time. Bye-bye for now.